Hey guys, this is Tassinix. We're here just after the end of Season 30, 3 versus 3 Grand Arena, and I wanted to make a very short video here about wrap-up. You know, what I thought worked well, what didn't work, and, you know, what we can take forward from this season, because the next time we come back to 3 versus 3, set 1 datacrons are down and out of the game. It'll be sets 2, 3, and 4 that will be active, right? At least sets 2 and 3, and 4 will be coming in. Maybe something like that. Could be a guess. Might be wrong about that. Anyway, I just still wanted to do something pretty high level. What worked well? So obviously Malgus featured here in week 2, and it was definitely transformational. Depending on the comp that you set, it basically is demanding either a Galactic Legend, or the only thing that I've seen that was really able to take on JKLs well from other streamers, other players, was using, taking on Malgus very well, was using like JKL lead with JKR and Mace. I believe that does well against any of the compositions, but there is a limitation. For your JKL, you're going to need that Rockin' Datacron, right? You're going to need the turn meter on level 3. You're going to need the 100% added damage when you have full life and protection. And then the bonus turn is pretty significant for really giving out the kapow. So Malgus worked. GLs are pretty much needed to counter it unless it's like a dope JKL Datacron. I got my little daughter running into the room with me here. Hey, sweetheart, what you doing? Aww. What you got there? What you got there in your hair? Oh, you got some of the yogurt from your raisins. Aren't you just adorable? Isn't this fun, guys? Parenthood's a joy. Got yogurt-covered raisin yogurt in your hair. Anyway, so JKL on defense, you know, like, is doing this season, I really wouldn't recommend this. I did it myself because my Datacron is bad, and I'm not one of the guys that's out here to farm up another one. I have re-rolled this 6 and 9 a couple times, and I'm pretty satisfied with the stats that I had on this one, so I just ran it this way. I've used it on offense this last season, and it was cool, but it wasn't taken down to Malgus, so overall, if I had to take it all back, I would say use my JKL for offense anyway, because the few rounds where I did set it on defense, people were blowing it out. Qui-Gon JK Cam remains a monster on defense in 3s, especially with the set 2 Datacrons. If you've seen the episode where my first match with Fatal this season, that Cam was brutal, man. That Cam 1v3'd my Newt Django B1 with everybody at full stats. Are you just here for the camera, sweetheart? You were playing all nice, and now that Dad's on camera, you just have to be here. Okay. You come sit with Dad. All right. So, Mom Mothma, yeah, there's really not a lot to say about that. This team is just I put it on defense with a really nice Datacron. You know, it's just Iden bait. The only thing that you could say that's kind of nice is that if you can set it here and then draw out CLS maybe in the back or something, or like what I did here in my last round, I just set them side by side and you can only Iden one. So, yeah. Covering those teams, not a lot of surprise there. I wanted to talk about fleets real quick, guys. This is a big deal. This composition of Executor stymies people all the time. Because you see Houndstooth and Razor Crest in there, with the IG-2000, you're thinking you might be able to run it with Finalizer and treat it just the same. And that's where you get caught out. When you have Xanadu up front, he does enough assists and attacks early on that it feeds the turn meter that you need to your Kylo command shuttle. Because on that shuttle's first turn, you want to pass out turn meter. Then on its second turn is when you do the ability block on Houndstooth. But you don't get that second turn in time if it's IG2K up front. You don't get enough damage getting put onto your team to give him that second turn. So you could still win the fight with Finalizer, but you got to be really careful or you're going to get jammed up. Rebels is a decent way to handle it, but just like any counter using Rebels on offense, if you have poor RNG, that's the end of the game, man. So this is definitely the hardest composition. Now, what I said in the back with this one was Boba and Xanadu blood. I also think there's merit in throwing B28 in there. I might be trying that out here in the next season, but there's all kinds of good ideas for using that. Oh, she's such a little ham. She can see herself on the camera, so she just wants to be all with Dad right now. All right. Tarkin, yeah, this Tarkin fleet has been devastating on defense. Not in terms of huge holds, but I'm satisfied with people what they have to commit to it to kill that fleet. Negotiator's always good. I've been flexing around Negotiator on and off of offense this season. I kind of like this setup. Obviously, with Profundity around the corner, fleet meta is about to change up significantly. But setting these three teams still affords me Finalizer, Rebels, Radis, and Malevolence for offense. That's generally enough to get the job done. And we still have a couple other capitals to do burners if we need to, which is exactly how I cleared the fleet zone in the very last match of this season. All right. I don't want the video to be long. I'm trying to start getting good about making YouTube videos, and I need to keep them short, so I got to stop myself from rambling. As far as meta for this last season, because of the power of Datacrons, particularly the prevalence of all the turn meter set 2 Datacrons, the meta at the top end was basically stack the bottom front wall with your toughest non-GL teams, have them amped up with Datacrons, and then you have an unknown number of GLs in the back. I can say this, if you're going to be fighting against opponents that significantly out Datacron you, like, for example, I was fighting people, I have like 112 Datacron levels total. I'm fighting people with 240, 280, stuff like that, like just overwhelmingly more. You're going to need to keep most, if not all, of your GLs on offense, because they could just jam you up in the back. I saw Fatal in the first round of the last week of this season stack that bottom front wall just the way I said, and then had 5 GLs waiting in the back, and still full cleared his opponent. This is the kind of thing that Datacrons enable, so you got to be mindful of that. Let me just look through my other defenses real quick to see if there was anything I thought that was pretty slick. Yeah, Hux on defense, this guy didn't do a lot for me. I love this team on offense, so Hux, Lobster, FOTP. Oh, guys, I have to speak on one thing. I didn't encounter this at all this last season, so I'm maybe the last person to the table to learn about it. But Jeffsky, in the last round, set a Malgus team that had... It was Malgus, Malik, and Talon. Great composition. So I'm wondering, where does he use his DR? Now, what he had waiting for me in the back was DR, Crew, and Starkiller. And, you know, if you set down EP, BSF, Mara Jade, if your opponent has, you know, good modding on their Wampa and maybe some added tenacity to help you resist shocks and the like, because you will get a tenacity down from Mara Jade, you can literally Wampa EP, Mara Jade, Starkiller. I had somebody do that to me. I think it was Vlar Cater last season, man. He just Wampa'd my team. And then I'm sitting there and it's like, that's the answer. So you can draw out maybe a nice easy counter to Starkiller up front. You set this in the back with DR lead, Crew, and Starkiller. Yeah, you don't have all of the turn meter flying around and you don't have a ton of assists calling Starkiller, but you have so much control, right? You've got Insanity, you've got the 2-turn stun out of Crew, a pre-taunt to start the battle. Super powerful. So I like that a lot. I set Malgus DR Talon because it's very hostile to any kind of like pick apart attempt, because you can't like mass assist on DR and stuff like that. And then he can still equalize with Malgus. There's some nasty pitfalls in there, but I will say that Starkiller comp using DR is really attractive, and I think I'll be making use of that next season. Oh, about CLS, guys. You know, following the old Fatal modding with having high tenacity, protection on these two guys with a decent Datacron, it's still a good team, but again, your opponents are generally reserving something that's going to cut right through like Iden. So I've seen people kill level 6 Datacron gas teams with CLS Han Chewie But again, only the best Datacron need apply, and I don't actually have the assist one, right? I've got this level 9 for him. So it's a decent Datacron and everything. Physical damage, crit damage, armor pen. It's pretty damn good. But it isn't perfect. And that's the essence of having the optimized Datacrons is you have whole new counter options available if and only if you've got the right Cron. All right. Yeah, I don't think I had anything too revolutionary in the back. Oh, I can't speak highly enough of this. Just another shout out to Vlarkader. Dash with Young Han is incredibly dangerous, guys. I had my Relic 8 Mace, well over, just over 100,000 health, maybe 105, 108, something like that, under a Padme lead. So another 50% health on top of that. Just get one shot for 221,000 by an opponent's Lando. I was inspired, man. I took it to Relic 8, put him in a fine set of crit damage. He's up over 10,000 damage in a crit damage set. He's a badass, man. And I look forward to seeing what this guy will do in 5s now. But real talk, Dash Young Lando, L3, or if you have the Omicron on Dash, Dash Young Lando and Vandor. Because then there's no freebie answer, right? You can't just bully in on young Lando. You can't get around the taunt if you were having L3 in here. So you really just have to go after Vandor and hope that young Lando doesn't send you packing before then. Yes, Maul being separated from Lord Vader was a very high value decision for me this team. I've had holds with this Maul composition. This is a 330 speed armor with a 25% turn meter datacron. This is powerful. I've had great players this last season get jammed up on that comp, and then I still have Lord Vader to go out there and trivialize any number of teams, right? Lord Vader can still solo any gas, any of those things. So good idea to split those resources. And yes, one last note about JML. Believe it or not, Dash, Young Lando, and somebody can kill. This can kill a JML team if it's JML Grandmaster Joe Lee. But when you have Xeris in there, that healing threat blocks that out. So just keep that in mind if you're setting this next season while set 2 is still active. My daughter is playing with my toes right now on the floor. What a dork. All right, guys. It's been awesome. It's been a super fun season. I'll, drop me some comments. Tell me what kind of content you want me to make. What would you like me to see me give, my take on? I'm interested in making more videos, but I also want to add, something that you guys really want to see. I could be giving my short little video on set 3 Datacrons. I might do something like that, but you get the idea. I want to give you what you're looking for. So leave me some comments, and we'll see you here for the next 5 vs. 5. Take care, guys.